Until now, we've been separate. Courses, conferences, and practitioners of hypnosis have been separated by geography, experience, and education. This is about to change.
Hi, this is Dr. Bernie Siegel, and I'm truly glad to share this experience with you. Because as far as I'm concerned, we're all in a trance all the time, or at least 95% of the time, that life is a trance state. And what happens to us relates to the trance state we happen to be in. An interesting comment from Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind. He's talking about Jesus and how he was able to resurrect himself, triumph over the grave, perform miracles, whose power stilled the wind and the waves. Quote, "Perhaps he was the only really normal person who ever lived. What do you think?" And, you know, when I read a sentence like that, it really hit me. Think of the potential that we as human beings have, what we can accomplish, what we can do. And unfortunately, I think most of us have to be in a trance state to have this kind of thing happen, that we really have to believe in what is happening. As a physician, I see this. I mean, some perfect examples. A radiation therapy machine is repaired. Radiation therapist told me this. He said, a month later, when we do our monthly check, we realize no one put the radiation material back in the machine, the radioactive material. And I said, do you understand what you're telling me? He said, what? What am I said, if it took you a whole month and you had to examine the machine to realize what happened, then obviously people had tumor shrinking. Their skin was getting red as a reaction to the treatment. And he went, oh, yeah, you're right. I said, get all the charts out and write an article about it. We see this. You give people a placebo, but say they're getting chemotherapy, the hair will fall out, and a third have it fall out. Studies with Rogaine, same thing. 40% of men had their hair grow with Rogaine, 30% had it grow with the controlled drug, the placebo that was given in place of it. And I would regularly do this with children. I called it deceiving people into health. Of course, the big problem is you could be sued, so I would have to tell the family that what I'm doing was a deception that was meant to help them get better. And I always felt that took away some of the power of the belief, because if the whole family was enthusiastic, it would help. But especially with children, a simple example. I did a lot of children's surgery. You take a child into the operating room. On the way there, you say, you'll go to sleep when you go in the room. I would wheel the children in, and they would literally fall asleep on the gurney. And one little boy flipped over as we went into the operating room. And I turned him back when we put him on the operating table. He said, what are you doing? I said, I have to operate. I'm turning you over. He said, you told me I'd sleep, and I sleep on my back. I sleep on my stomach. But he compromised for me. But that's how literally they took my word from the authority. So with kids, you relabel vitamins and say, here's hair-growing pills. Here's anti-nausea pills. Again, the trance state. You're at home after your chemotherapy. You're nauseated, vomiting. You don't have your glasses on, so you say to your daughter, go get me my Compazine. Daughter comes back with the pill, gives it to you, you swallow it, boom. All the symptoms disappear. A few hours later, you're not feeling well again. You ask your daughter for another pill, but this time you have your glasses on. She hands you a pill, and you say, what are you doing? Mom, this pill has a C on it. I assumed it's your Compazine. No, dear, it's my anticoagulant Coumadin. Well, it worked fine the first time she received it. Also, inducing our own trance states. You go for radiation therapy and have absolutely no side effects. The radiation therapist said, I saw your name in the chart. I knew it was a crazy patient. What's he talking about? This woman had no reaction to radiation. He thought, you see, the machine is broken. But he said to her, when he saw my name in the record, how come you have no reaction? She said, I get out of the way and let it go to my tumor. Another woman who'd been in a concentration camp, but the radiation therapist didn't know it, he sent her to me to say, why is she having such a violent reaction? Can you talk to her about it? And she said to me, it's like the gas chamber. So I see people, and they draw pictures, some of which I will show you as examples, but you can draw yourself getting radiation therapy, and it looks like you're a skeleton.